What's up, everybody? It's Sunday. It's time. It's no, not time for Walmart groceries. Don't worry about that, everybody. Here we go. Uh, it's All Things Fantasy Grounds talk show, which is meant to teach and help. The opinions stated by the five of us on the show tonight are not that of Smiteworks USA, LLC, or Fantasy Grounds. Welcome, everybody. Before we get to our guests, I'd like to say hello to my co-hosts. Fury Fate, how are you?
I'm still here. I have not been blown away, so that's also good.
Yes, she's in the middle of Hurricane Hannah, everybody, so she's there, bottom left. And Robin, how are you?
I'm tired. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm tired too, but that's all right. I did not have a nap today. You'll be happy to know.
Ooh.
See? So with us from Fantasy Grounds College, bottom right is Lady Shell. How are you?
I am fine. Yeah, you get to see my avatar
Yeah.
because I have too many boxes in my house to show anybody. When I get rid of the boxes and get my table set up and my chair set up and have a regular office, then I'll be on screen.
Very
Heck
good.
yeah.
And Layroon, how are you?
I am great and I am excited. And this is our third annual celebration for the Founders Day weekend. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yes, awesome. Well, I'm glad everybody's here. And by the way, chat, thanks for all the subs and all the follows and all the Bitboss and the cheer bits and the donations and the subs and the follows and the donations and the cheer bits and the subs. Thank you so much. So Furyed is not on camera and Lady Shell's not on camera because Furyed's underwater and Lady Shell's on the surface of the sun. So that's the difference between them. So I'll leave it over to you two from Fantasy Grounds College to tell us how the weekend went.
Okay. From my personal standpoint, I think that Lady Shell did probably about 85% of the work. But as far as the community goes, I was really impressed that we had a good number of game masters turn out. We had around 39 games, and only two of them didn't happen, and one of them was canceled. The other one just didn't happen. So we have screenshots to share of that. And at one point on Friday, all 9 of our game rooms were filled with people playing. And I'll have a graphic of that later. But
Cool.
just those initial things look really good, and also the variety. We didn't have just D&D. We did have a few other genres playing. And just the support that we're getting from the community, from Smiteworks, from you indirectly, and everybody else, it really helps the community grow, and this is a really good thing. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Last year you said you had like 32 games, and this year almost 40. So that's pretty good. I know when FG Con and FG Days and those guys do it, they get about, I think, maybe about 50 games. So you guys are right there and just doing it for 3 years over the weekend, and they've been doing that for how long? Like since the beginning of time. So that's
Yep.
awesome. And
I love you, man.
oh, Six Salmon, thanks for the sub. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Lady Shell. You were
For
going to say something?
comparison, it's Robin.
Oh, it's Robin.
For comparison, I was going to ask, when is FG Con? Do you know?
FG Con is usually in April and October, I think.
Okay.
And FG Days is in like June and December.
Okay.
You guys, if
Or
I'm
February
wrong about
or something. Yeah.
October and April is what Windrunner is saying. That's
Okay.
for FG Con, right? Yeah, but they stagger, so they're about every quarter, whether it's one or the
Okay.
other. And but the very last one they were going to do, I think they canceled it.
Since we probably have a lot of new people, I think it'd behoove us to let's talk about our relationships with one another, how we know each other.
Sure.
A real brief overview. So I know pretty much everyone here. I haven't met everyone in person, but pretty much everybody here is familiar to me. Lady Shell, when did you join FGC?
I think it was May of 2018.
Okay, yeah. So she came on about a year or two ago. Furied Fate was one of my first players on one of my first tables using Fantasy Grounds. So I go way back with her.
Aww.
And she was my
I
first
know,
sub, actually.
memories.
She was my first what do you call it?
YouTube sub?
Patron.
Oh, patron,
Excuse
yeah.
me. Yep. Rob, I kind of met bugging him about the coding effects, and we met on actually the forums. And I kind of checked his shows out, and he was starting to stream a lot, pretty heavily. And back then, he had Lazy Stooner and Urash and a bunch of other people I didn't know at the time, McClancy and everybody playing with him. And he actually agreed to come over to the college and talk to us about his coding effects. And at that point, we had decided to kind of be buddies, and we teamed up. And Rob's been pretty instrumental in actually helping to grow the community, especially in those early days. He definitely was very clutch in that arena, and he still is to this day. He comes by and he drops messages and he gives out stuff and does all kinds of things for the community. And Robin, where do I start? So I try to recruit her, and she kind of flaked on me. I don't know what happened. Maybe something came up.
What?
Yeah, but
Laverne
that's
has
okay.
long memory.
That's not
I
how I
do.
remember it.
Well, I remember recruiting you, and then I said, well, I wasn't sure how our community would react to her, meaning that she was probably one of the few females we had back then. So I had advised her to change her avatar, and maybe that didn't sit well with her, but I'd asked her to please refrain from acting like a female so you don't get treated like a female. And I was so worried that, the community was going to chase her away and all this stuff. Maybe I did just by saying that. But after that, I didn't see anything from her, and I said, wow, I blew it. That was like a first date gone
No.
wrong.
That
It was
must
like,
be why you didn't do that to me, and I'm still here.
that's right. So I was overshooting that, and Fury knows this. I try to protect all the girls, and I made her when we used to play our game. I said, okay, give me a code word, and she's like, what are you talking about? I said,
I love
if somebody
you,
says something
man.
that you don't like, man, just let me know what the word is, and we'll get rid of them. And it was
Yeah,
orange.
which is it's really nice. And I mean, that's something that, girls and women who do gaming and stuff like that, they should always have a code word or safe word to work out with their DM just in case, situations happen. It's
And it
not that
was
it happens very
orange.
often, but in case it was
Hers
orange
was
juice,
orange?
yeah.
Yeah. If
Some
she
of the
says
ones-
orange, that means
Some of the safety words I've heard are, "Hey asshole, stop doing that."
yes.
I haven't heard that one. Not in my games, of course. Maka 1027. Thank you for the resubs. And I
So
like
that's
to,
how I
go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Good, Robbie.
Uh,
No, that's how I got to know these people. So
Yeah, I like to tell the story about how we first met, which was, well, we talked a little bit, but then you were gonna start the Fantasy Grounds College, and you were gonna it was gonna be one day a week, and it was gonna be a Discord server on Sundays that time that you thought you could handle, and you were gonna call it the Fantasy Grounds Church, and I fucking shut that shit down right quick. I was like, you can't.
yeah, I got a
call
lot
it
of
that.
flack.
You're gonna get everyone's gonna hate you. Do not call it that. And so
He was absolutely right.
called it
I
the
was
Fantasy Grounds
outvoted.
College.
Rob had that to say. Everyone attacked me. They're like, you can't call it that. It's so off-putting. They're like,
Yeah.
no. Because it was like the D&D 5e church or something like that. And Rob's
Yeah,
like,
which is
no.
what I joined. Is when I joined you. Is when it was called the church. I was fine with it, but then again, all the atheists of the group were like, "No, we don't want to go to church."
No,
Well, we had
church.
Buddhists. We had Buddhists and everything else, so they didn't want to see that, right?
Belle
This
says
is
her
Catholic Christian.
her safety word is biatch. Stop.
So that was kind of how we all met. Rob, I think I met you right before or right after Fury. I actually after, because I knew
Yeah.
Fury first.
And then for those that don't know, this is our 124th show today. And for those that aren't aware, you can go watch. We have them all. They're all on YouTube. You can watch all 124 of them. And Layroon and I started it, just the two of us. And then eventually Fury joined. And then Lady Shell was with us. And then Lady Shell and Layroon both stepped back, and then Robin came in. So that's how the show got evolved to
Right.
the hosts of us. And
I
so,
really wanted this to happen. I mean, I don't have the time to dedicate it to every Sunday anymore. However, I do try to help occasionally with with planning shows, and I've been kind of sloughing lately because of Fantasy Grounds, because of our Founders Day weekend. But now that that's over, I can put a little bit more time into it. But I thought it would be really cute to have Robbie's Angels and just kind of leave just have like two ladies and Rob, and maybe one other lady was supposed to be Lady Shell. So I thought it would be perfect if we had a.
Well, I will be back.
Cheer
if I ever get
bits.
moved.
Cheer bits in the stream. Thanks for the cheer
you,
bits.
COVID.
Can I just want to defend myself really quick from when Leyrun and I first met each other, because
Okay.
if I remember correctly, it was when my youngest son was an infant, because it was about 2 years ago. And I remember you saying, "Hey, will you change your avatar?" And I was like, "No." Because I use the same avatar everywhere. It's this old picture of me from when I used to be like when I used to stream. Anyways, and I remember telling you, like, I have a baby, I was super busy, and like I just didn't have time. But I did join the college and I try to take part when I can. And now, I'm helping moderate a little bit here and there, but it's just not, I can't do it the way that you do it, which is amazing, by the way. But I can't because I've got 3 kids and my youngest one's a toddler now, and it's like so much. But I just wanted to defend myself because I love you, Leyrun. I think you're
I know.
freaking awesome.
I'm just giving you shit. I mean, I see a sewing machine next to you, or
yes.
You're busy ladies, and I get it. I have kids, and I had to take kind of a break from all that. But yes,
Yeah.
got it.
And Robin, how
I
did you
still
and I
love you
meet?
though. Well, I've known you for like 4 years. You've known me for like 6 months.
And why is that, Robin? How is it
because
possible for you to know me when I don't know you? How is that possible?
Because I've always watched your stream and I was just a nobody. I'm still a nobody, but
No, I reward stalking. That's the answer.
right.
You stalked me for 4 years,
Sure.
and I said put you on the show. That's how you do it. So if anybody wants on the show, you just have to stalk me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, very good. Now, Leyrun, are we waiting, or did you want to show your graphics?
Actually, we're not really waiting. I wanted Lady Shell to let us know what our prizes were.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, because you guys are giving away some prizes. This is super exciting.
So we had a couple prizes that we had set up. Can you explain what that was, Lady Shell?
Okay, well, the first one was a contest that we ran starting way back in May. I think it was the end of May, but it was ran on Gleam, and it was just we called it the YouTubealooza 2020 contest, and all you had to do was first answer how many parts do I have in my tips for beginners playlist. The answer is 25, and then the people could join by whatever means that they want to. There was like follow us on Twitter and join, or not join, but look at our Patreon and different things.
I love you, man.
Amounts of entries, and then we got 2 winners who each won a standard Fantasy Grounds license, and they could choose either a Unity license or a Classic license. And interestingly enough, I had one of each. One person wanted one person wanted the other. And I can give the names out now, of the people that won, as soon as I get my little folder here.
All right. Drum roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be Skylar Wolf and
All right. Congratulations.
T-Cat.
All
So
right.
those are the 2 winners from the Gleam contest. And then we had where the people that ran games for us during our event, the DMs each would be entered to win a $50 of whatever they want from the Fantasy Ground store. They just need to give me their name, or not name, but their Fantasy Grounds username. And then we had a player win the same amount, $50, and they just need to give me their name, and then they both know their names, but I will reveal them now to everyone else. So our DM is Ivor Mack.
All
and
right.
our player is JMBKNVC. And like I said, they both know.
Jamobaback. Yeah, I know that guy. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
I know that guy.
That's our winner.
I heard a bunch of letters. I was freaking out.
Jamobaback.
Jamobaback. I don't know how to say it.
Jumping Jamobaback. All right.
Wow, so you guys
that's
gave
great.
away like $180 minimum of stuff. That's awesome.
Yep.
Congrats to the
And
winners.
it wasn't too painful, right, Shell? We didn't have to track people down and all
No,
that good
they
stuff.
were there and everything. I sent them an email and they got right back to me.
All right, good. All right. So I am going to show some slides here. These are taken from our Founders Day weekend. I have it up on the screen. I don't know if I need to do anything, Rob, or
I'm gonna make you big. You have to share your screen in Discord.
okay. Yep. So let me do that.
I believe we have 27 or 28 screenshots, and we had 39 or 38 games. So not bad. Most of the people got back to me with their screenshots. I was really happy to hear that.
That is good. Okay. So I have a folder here that has a bunch of screenshots in there, and I'm going to
Okay,
go through them.
you still haven't shared your screen yet. We still see your.
You have
Okay.
to click the button, Rob.
No, he has to click the button.
You have to click the
No,
button.
there's a button that says watch stream.
Oh, where the hell is that? Oh, watch
in
stream.
Discord.
Okay, never mind. They changed it on me. I don't like it. I'm very
Okay.
upset. I'm very
Is it
upset,
there?
Rob is still
everybody.
learning.
Can you
Okay,
guys see a
still
screenshot, or you just see
Yeah,
all
we
of them?
see like all the
We see-
thumbnails.
Okay, I need to share something that shows the screenshot, not the thumbnails.
That
So-
looks like
Can't you
it's
just click on
your
'em?
Explorer.
I can, but it's centered on that. There we go. Okay. That's what I
Okay.
wanted to show.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
All right, so this is from Ivermax game. This is Telement. This is what is this? Elemental Evil, and
Yeah,
this
I
is the
think
Moat
that's the-
House.
That's the 2E. He did a 2E version and a 5E version. By the way, he made that map in Dungeon Draft. I think it's an awesome map.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's really nice. This is a Fallen Temple. This is Denishu's game. I believe it's fifth edition. And this is pretty interesting looking. It's got a bunch of looks like they're getting attacked by some were rats or something,
Yeah.
or gnolls. Huh. Okay.
And a big one.
This is a Starry Breach. This is Ivermac's other game. I'm not sure what the premise of this was, but it
Cobalt
looks like...
Press.
Oh,
It's a
Cobalt
Cobalt
Press.
Press one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've run that.
Cool.
So is that like a snowy landscape?
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
a
the
rift
ice-
in
yeah.
here.
I
Yep.
like that. That's nice.
Ice with a
It's
crevasse.
in Prepared or Prepared 2. I forget which one, but I've ran that before. It's really good.
Nice. And this must be a modern one, but it's called A Bad Day in Traffic. It's a zombie kind of apocalypse game. I'm not sure who ran this. Bart?
I was gonna say that looks like
Zombart.
a board game I play called Zombicide,
Yeah.
where you have the
Ooh,
survivors
yeah, it does
kinda
look
go
like
out into this
Zombicide.
post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
Huh.
I love
I like
you,
it.
man.
It's a nice
Matakiri, thank
change.
you
And
for the resub.
I recognize the art. I think that's Chris's. I might be wrong about that, but it looks like it.
It looks like Chris has art. Yep.
Yeah. Now this is Dragon's Breath Tavern. This is something Lady Shell was running, I believe.
Yeah,
That
it's a
is
Jeff
Ooh.
Stevens. It's a Jeff Stevens story.
Oh yeah, we
And
did
I
that
love
one.
Jeff
That was a
Stevens.
hard one to, and I didn't finish it. It was like
We-
5.5 hours, and we never finished it. I've
I
run it
love-
twice, never finished it once.
Congratulations on your screen layout, by the way. That's totally awesome.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Looks
Very
good.
good.
I love
This-
how organized it looks.
Yeah, so you can
Mhm.
see everything and get an idea. She knows how to do screenshots.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is a Call of Cthulhu game ran by Zane, and it's Final Flight of the Metal Gods.
There's a fucking
And-
plane crashing on the.
Exactly.
On the decal.
I think that is basically the premise of it. You crash wreck, and it's probably a nightmare.
Alive. The soccer
Yeah.
team. You got to eat your friends. I love it. Let's do it.
I think it has something to do with you're a part of a band or something.
Oh, I see. And you have to survive once you crash. That's awesome.
I have no idea.
Greenest in the Flames, Tiger Tim ran
Ooh.
this. And this is a D&D 5e.
That's a good screenshot too.
That's part of the first module. What's it called?
Horde of the Dragon Queen?
Yes, that's what that is.
Okay. Okay. This is Meet the Knolls in Volo's Wake. This is ran by Elwin.
Ooh, I like that map.
Yeah, I
that's
do
an
too.
AL.
Kind of cool.
That's like a lot of bridge between tree huts.
Trees? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks cool.
Like
Probably
tree
50
houses.
feet above the ground or something.
Yikes. And
Don't.
this is Lost Mine of Fandelver. This is Pixel
Mhm.
Corp's game, one of his screenshots that he took.
Oh my
Huh.
god, I've run that so many times. I like
Look at all those effects
so
up there in the
sick of
upper right. I wonder where those came from. Okay.
it.
Made those anyway. Yeah, he did this 6 times. So he ran this like it's chapter 1 of the Lost Mine.
Oh,
like
that's
he's
cool.
got some
Yeah.
he's got some fatalities there or something. Looking at the party sheet.
It is a good module. Great module for like new players.
Yes, and also new DMs.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's the one that tells you, like, tell your players to roll a ability check, and this is
Reception
what
check.
that's for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So this is Marcus Reif's picture here that he took from the pudding fair, and he ran this I think Friday night, if I remember right, or today.
Ooh, using the SRD only, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Basic rules
Good
in
for
SRD. There you go.
them.
That's all you need,
That's
baby.
awesome. That's all you need.
Well, it's an AL game, so.
Yep.
Mhm.
This was a snapshot from one shot that I ran for Homebrew thing that I'm working on, the bees and the birds thing, and I took a snapshot of it while we're in the middle of combat.
You
So
know, I
that was
never
fun.
understood
Aw.
why you called it birds and bees. There's no birds in this game.
There actually is, but she died, so she's not a main character, but she's the one that protected everyone. So
The druid?
Nice layout,
Druid, yeah,
Layron.
she's
Yep.
Eric Cochra. Thank you.
That's right.
Looks kind of like mine.
Starfinder.
And this, definitely Starfinder. This is Skitter Shot. This is run by Aussie Hope. He's one of our Oceania guys, and it's awesome that he's able to run something other than D&D. So that's pretty cool. Nice layout there. This was Teagle Manor by Jimmy V. This is what, Castles and Crusades, late show?
Ooh.
Okay. Yep.
Yes. And he
And-
ran that 5 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are nice maps too.
Yep. I did
so
speak to
these guys that did these games 5 and 6 times, they just did like 2-hour one-shots like twice a day for 3 days. Is that how they did it?
probably.
Yeah, okay.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
That is really good though. That gives people a chance to play, gives them time to practice using the module. Perfect.
Now, I think not Aussie Hope. I think that the Lost Mine one, it was the same one 6 times. But
okay.
this one, Teagle Manor, I believe it was consecutive. Like there was part 1, 2, 3, 4, and you didn't have to play in all of them.
Oh, you could just jump in. Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
And there's another screenshot of the same game. It might even been a different session, but this is another Teagle Manor Castle and Crusades library shot. And there's another. So we're getting a Castle and Crusade tour here.
Yep, there's
and
all
yet
the
another
shaded parts of the map. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
And
like
this is the Black Road, and this was by DM or GM Elwin. It's another 5th edition thing.
I asked her about the hazard up there, and she said that's a huge log that they pushed down towards the party. I said,
cool.
"Oh no, look out for the hazard."
it.
And this is Uninvited Guest. This is also Elwin in a different game. So she ran a couple, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she ran 3.
Wow. That's awesome. And Wild Sheep Chase. This is
Oh, I
Legend.
love that module.
They had so much fun with that.
I like the name
That
of it.
one's fun. It's really fun. You should run it sometime.
And it's a 5th edition roll set, I take it?
It is.
And there's a polar bear.
It's by
Yes, there is.
Winghorn Press, if anybody is looking
Oh,
for
okay,
it. It's by
cool.
Winghorn Press.
Ah, okay. And he's got a second one from that. He ran this twice.
Oh, okay.
Look at
And
that bear. And isn't that the aura effects or something that he's got on there?
yeah. It might very well be.
They want to know, Robin, if that's on.
It's on
Oh, it's on
Winghorn
their
Press's
website. Okay,
website.
yeah.
Yep.
It might be on DM's Guild, but I'm not sure because of like the exclusivity thing, or maybe it's
okay.
on Drive Through RPG. But I know if you just Google Winghorn Press, you can get their website. Just Google Wild Sheep Chase, and it'll come up. It's a good module.
Okay. Can you guys see the layout there of the
Yeah.
Founders Day weekend? All the rooms. I'll make sure
Wait,
you're looking at the right
what do you
thing.
mean?
You're not sharing it on the screen.
Well, I had to switch apps. That's why I'm asking.
Oh no, I just still see the map, with the bear.
Okay, I'll switch it. I'll switch her. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
So this is.
Oh man.
So this is a snapshot from Friday, and you know how Discord works, just so long that you can't really capture the whole screen. So one of the players in the game said, "I'll do it. I'll do it." What she did is she stitched them all together. So it's game rooms 1 through 9. Every single game every game room that we set up was full.
Nice.
And this was like Friday evening. So that was a really good thing to see. I've never seen that ever in the history of FGC. I've seen all the rooms full, but not that many at once.
That's
I've seen maybe
awesome.
3
That
or
is
4.
totally awesome. Did you guys have anybody come to you and say, "Hey, we're out of rooms"?
Almost.
Yeah.
We have classrooms and we had other game rooms, but there was a lot of people playing that. I was surprised because traditionally in the last 2 times we did it, Friday was a little slow and then Saturday was the main day.
Right.
This year it was like all Friday, some Saturday, and then it kind of petered out on Sunday. We still have a game in process, I believe, or it just wrapped up. And it was another Castle and Crusades game. But this is
Yeah, Boffrin just said they just finished a game, I think.
Yeah, it was the
yeah.
Dungeon Crawler, whatever. What's it called?
Dungeon Crawl Classics?
DCC? Yes, that's the
Nice.
game that just finished.
All right. So Darth said at one point I saw 60 people in the game rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were really happy to see that. I've never, in any of the servers I've ever been in, I've never seen that. Even in a convention
fantastic. That shows you that everybody, is participating and
that's
pretty
really
wild.
cool. Pretty proud of that. So
I also asked some people if they would give some comments, and I have some comments if you would like me to read them as soon as I finish turning off my left button for push to talk, because it's scrolling away.
So, Lady Shell, will you tell us about the process that you went through, trying to get the everything together? When did we start this?
I don't recall exactly when we started.
Was it April?
It was many months ago.
I know we put up a thing for DMs to sign up, and I think it confused people. It was a Google Doc or a Google form that they had to fill out and say what they wanted to run and when they wanted to run it. Like what like of the the US times or the EU times or the Oceania times. And then they told us like if they had any special things that they were going to do, and people filled that out. But then I think some of the people that were very new to our site did not understand that they had to also actually post the game, because they were because then we went back and said, hey, you need to post the game now, and they're like, oh, I had to do something else. And I said, yeah. So that was actually you're right. We had originally asked for people, it probably was back in April, to say, are you interested in running a game? We didn't ask them, when and what and anything. Just, do you think you want to run a game? And I think we had about 21 people answer that, saying that they wanted to do that. And then the Google form, it took forever for people to actually sign into stuff like that. But we've eventually got so many games that we had to turn down any additional games when it got closer to the actual start date of our event, because we wanted to make sure that people were going to be able to fill up the games that we had instead of continually adding new games, because that's not fair to the people that signed up early.
Right.
So did you guys want to hear some of the comments that we had?
Yes, I'd
I
love to hear some of
do.
those.
Yep.
Okay. So Zane, he's kind of funny. He said, "Had a blast, lots of fun. I am Zane and I approve that message." I said,
Aw.
"I hosted Dragon's Breath Inn and I had some great players. I had hoped to stream it, but OBS didn't want to record my voice, so I had to give up. My first time DMing for Founders Day, and it won't be my last." And then
Aw.
Fort Hood said, "This has been my first experience with Founders Day, and I would have to say that it met all my expectations. I have been to many cons, and considering the health hazard that we are all dealing with, this is a very nice event and well structured and organized. I would have to say that it has run smoother than some cons that I've personally attended. I would like to thank everyone who put this on, which includes all of the DMs and the players who took their time out of their day to participate. I look forward to next Founders Day event."
Awesome.
I'll read one more.
Sure.
Let's see. Because I don't want to take up the whole show. How about Finn? Now let's see. Oh, someone else said that he ran a good game, but he also gave a comment saying, "I had a blast both as a DM and a player during Founders Day weekend. It was fantastic to have the chance to try out my new FGC DM skills on a group of fun loving and patient players. Thanks to Lady Shell and Fantasy Grounds College for putting together this event for RPG fans, both old and new. Looking forward to next year's event." So we had a lot of really good feedback there from people,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah.
And
And
how
I
did you guys solicit those? Did you guys send out a survey to people, or how did you get the comments?
Oh, the comments, I just posted in our announcements on Discord, and then I went into the channels and said, "By the way, if anyone has any comments, I'll take them."
Oh, okay, cool.
I work hard for my money, and I don't even get any money.
You're you know who you are? You're Flashdance. You work hard for your money.
Yeah.
Jennifer Veals.
That's right. That's who you are.
Or,
You're pouring the
yeah.
water on the chair and everything.
Oh, okay.
That's for old people, everybody. Nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about.
Is
I
that
know
Michael
what you mean.
Stambello Maniac?
Oh, yeah.
He knows the guy that sang the song.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Wow.
Hey, that
I'm
was
not
my movie. That was my
surprised.
jam.
I saw that movie in the theater like 3 times.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Rob or anybody else have anything to talk about here? Prizes or
Did we give all the prizes for the convention away?
Yep. And then we had, let's see, we talked about the screenshots. And I could talk to you a little bit about growth and some things that we're doing.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
coming up
that.
next. Okay, one thing I want to mention live now, which we'll be announcing at our next meeting and the community, is starting Monday, we will be teaching using Unity. So Doug and John has advised us to start using Unity as intended.
Interesting.
I think the last update that they did is pretty helpful. It seems to run smooth. I ran it in the one shot that I ran this weekend. I didn't have any issues. Connectivity was there. The 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 hesitation that a lot of people were experiencing have been going away. And so we will start teaching with Unity, and we'll do both because they're very similar. But as time goes on, I think John and both Doug kind of implied that they want us to start using Unity, and they are working hard to get it released real soon. So that's all I know from them.
Yeah, I
but
hadn't even heard that. I hadn't even heard whether they. I mean, I know. I mean, the goal is to release it a year ago, but
yeah,
I
they're
didn't know
getting
that
close.
they were. It seems like they're getting close. Yeah, they didn't say anything to me though, but.
They didn't tell me a date. They just said, start using it. I think it's good enough now. And because I directed a community to not use Unity to run
That's what I.
classes because
Mhm.
because of their earlier release parts. But I don't feel that way anymore. And now that I've tested it myself and I've been using it a little more often, I think it's very, very stable as compared to what it was before. I'm not saying it's flawless. There's still some things that need to be fixed, but it's not barely any problem now other than confusion. And a lot of that has to do with how you connect and it doesn't have anything to do with the gameplay itself. So I'm really happy with the direction they've gone with Unity.
Cool.
The other thing is the type of participation that we're going to be working with is helping out conventions more often, especially this year with COVID in place. Doug and John and myself and a few others in FGC, we got Windrunner and uh, Bofferin, and we're going to start helping more at the help desks and giving them support so they can actually use Unity during the uh, cons that are coming out in the next few months. We're right in the middle of San Diego Comic Con. That's over today or tomorrow, and next weekend is Gen Con, so we'll be kind of present there. So we're coming up with a plan as to how to help them and not stretch ourselves too thin in our own community. So we're working on a plan for that, probably a rotation series or something like that. The other thing is, we're sitting at 8,200 members right now. And I looked at our data, and what I'm seeing is about roughly 2,000 people at a time. So we're maintaining about 2,000 people active at any
That's
given time.
awesome.
Yeah,
And
and
that's pretty
what's the
steady too.
total? How many total in there?
8,000. I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
looked today,
It's like
but it's
250 or something like
yeah,
that. I looked earlier
8,250.
today.
Okay. Awesome.
But give or take 1%. I mean, some are duplicates, some are people that may not be there, but nonetheless, we haven't had to purge anything. I did make some changes with faculty. I've had some people that haven't been active, that they are, basically alumni, or they're going to be helping out in other capacities. But we have recruited a bunch of faculty right now. I'm really happy with the group that we have, and we got 2 more new people we're going to be interviewing. So, Shell, how many do you have access to our list to see how many people we got in training right now?
Yeah, I have to look up the screenshot. Hang on.
Okay, so we lost maybe 5 or 6 people just because of time and or family issues or real life situations. But we've replaced those, and we have more. I think at least 10 to 12 people.
That's
Is what
awesome.
Yes, and people are signing up every week, so it's not like yeah, because of life, exactly, Scuba.
And what would you say the class load is now? Like how many classes a week, or can you give
Well,
a?
we told Doug 10 to 12,
Okay.
so we're
Yep.
doing that, and that is doing okay. I mean, we could use a few more. And once we get the other people trained, and instead of just say, okay, here's all our stuff, go train, go teach, we're actually holding classes to teach you how to teach. And that is being held by Lord Entrails. That's what he does for a living. And then we do touch and goes with players and GMs that are getting ready to either run games or they're trying to join a game. And then I try to go back and re-talk to all of the or re-chat with everybody that works with us. And that'll be one of my goals for this fall, is to reconnect with everybody that's in our community that's volunteering. So there's probably about 30 or 40 people or so. So that's important piece to go back and uh, actually re-engage with people, even though they've been helping out on a consistent basis.
Cheer
You
bits. Cheer
can't
bits
just
in the
throw them in
stream.
the
Thanks for the
woodshed and
cheer
hope they
bits.
cut wood. We really have to go in there and talk to them and make sure their tools are sharp, and that the wood's getting stacked right, and that the support's there for them. So
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. Lady Sheldon, so did you get a number yet?
I think we have about 7 people that are like in sort of training or even like looking over documents. And then we have one person for sure that we're going to talk to this week. And I have to reach out to another person and see if he'll be available to talk to that same time because we like to do our training on the same day. And
Yeah, we have a Wednesday set up for training and recruiting. So that's what we do on
also,
Wednesdays.
Winnack wants to know if there's any word of the Steam release of Unity.
I
I haven't
think
No.
heard
that's
any
tied
word.
into it's tied into them releasing the full thing, so I don't know.
Yeah,
They didn't give me a
that's
date.
Steam is always a delay with, as a developer, I know that when I turn
Mhm.
something in, there's a huge delay because Steam has to approve it and it's got to be perfect and they got to scrutinize it, and especially with, it's a lot easier for modules because they're self-contained little things. But when you're talking about an entire software application, that's a big to do. So,
Ooh.
hey guys, thanks for the follow, Lady Shell. Thanks for the cheer bits again.
But I think they're more confident in releasing it now. So
Yeah, it seems that they're really uber close because most reports now are, like you said, Leroon, everything's pretty stable, and it might have a glitch or two, but so does Fantasy Grounds Classic. So there you go.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
stuff happens sometimes, but for the most
yeah.
part,
Tom, I don't know about Linux. I know they were working on it at one point. I don't know if they're still doing that or what's happening with
yeah,
Linux.
Linux and Apple and Windows are all being worked on. Windows is of course the priority because that's what 85% of people use. But Linux will be part of it. Might just take them longer.
Yep, no big word on that.
I have a
The other,
question for
go
you
ahead.
guys.
Sure.
So I mean, I don't know if you were kind of transitioning topics, so my apologies for revisiting old topics. But for as far as Founders Day went, is there anything that you kind of learned from the process of doing it that you might do differently next time to
Yep.
make it improved or anything like that? I was curious what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, whenever we run a big event like this, we kind of get smacked in the face with our process.
Hmm.
So, in other words, when people join our community, they have to go through a lot of hoops. And it's very off putting for a new person because you have to join Discord. Then you have to
Hmm.
learn Discord. Then you have to go to our website. And you have to learn how that works. Then you have to learn Fantasy Grounds and you have to learn how that works. So we get that. That's a drawback that we have with, and that's true with scheduling classes, games, events. One of the things, the mistakes I think that we made this year was that I put out that initial interest thing, and Lady Shell had explained that the way we did that should have just waited until we did the game master sign up because we just wanted
It's
to
like
see if
it was like 3 parts. First is, does anybody wanna play or run a game? And then it was like, "Okay, if you wanna run a game, we wanna know exactly what you wanna run, when you wanna run it, what rule set you're gonna use, blah, blah, blah." And then it was like, "Get your game posted." So three steps. Let's just get rid of the first 2 and just say, "Post a game."
so. Robin, can you ask that question? I was missing
Yeah,
it.
so I was just curious if you guys had learned anything from your experience of running Founders Day and what you might do differently next time.
Darth Vex, yes, we are allowed
Yes,
to run it, but
yes, you
you need
can.
to put your disclaimer in there that it's still in early release. That's
I've
all.
got the disclaimer. Let me go grab it.
Yep.
My advice to people has been, like, when I get asked that question, I say yes, you can, but at your own peril, because
Yes.
it is still a beta. Even as stable as it might be and as almost perfect as it might be, it's still a beta product. They haven't released it, so you're taking your game and your gaming group into your own hands because it might blow up in the middle of what you're doing. And because of that, they want you to have a disclaimer that if you're streaming it live or putting it on YouTube, that you're telling your audience, hey, this is a beta product and something might go wrong here, because what Smiteworks doesn't want is 40,000 videos of the thing blowing up when everybody just thinks it's a piece of crap. That's, they're trying to avoid that. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
they
smart.
they reached out to me and I did a video on the line of sight, and they didn't like what they saw. Not that I was showing the video, but they didn't like the response of the software. So they said, "Can you backpedal a little bit and let us work on it a little bit more, and then we'll go from there." So they didn't say don't do it. We're ashamed of it. It was more like, I think the optimization needs to be there before we really
Yeah, well,
start digging into that.
I think the biggest concern, and if I was running the company, my biggest concern would be someone who isn't a Fantasy Grounds user seeing a video of Unity and watching it go to blue screen or something like that and going, "Oh, well, I'm never gonna fuck with that because it's
Right.
crap." That's what you don't want to happen. So if you're running it and you, especially like at the beginning of the show, and then if a problem occurs, that's when you throw the disclaimer in there and say, "Hey, by the way, if you're watching, this is a beta product. It's not fully released." And
Right. And I was using it since alpha, and I was so used to it doing that I really didn't think about it.
yeah,
Because I'd be patient with it. I'd let it do its thing, and then I
yeah,
would work with it. Well, it was not John and not Doug, but it was Carl that spotted it.
yeah.
And Carl's the developer, and that's his baby. That's his design thing. So he stepped in and said, might want to backpedal a little
Yeah,
bit.
and and people don't really realize there's only like 2.5 people working on Unity. That's
Right.
it's not like a team of 10 or 20 people. It's just 2 guys and plus Doug a little bit. It's
Yep.
Carl and John and Doug.
So I did get permission to run that stream, but I think when they looked at it, they were like, well, and I think John kind of, I don't know, I'm speculating, but Carl probably said, why did you do that? And Doug said, yeah, go ahead and do it. And then John probably said, yeah, maybe.
And if
So I could just see them.
yeah, if anybody's watching tonight, or if you're watching this on YouTube and we keep saying Doug and John, and you don't know who that is, that's Doug Davison and John Gregory. John Gregory is also known as Moon Wizard on the forums, and those are the two owners of the company. So they're basically the guys that are in control of everything.
And Carl's the main programmer, right?
Carl's the
Carl
main
Pinder?
Unity program. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
about 10 SmiteWorks employees, but those are the three people who are got their hands inside the coding of Unity and are doing stuff. And
And what is Carl's online username?
Carl Pinder is
something Pinder.
He might be C Pinder, I think. I think is his
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think it is.
I don't know. I don't know all, like, I know who all the big guys are, but only by like their forum usernames or whatever.
And as far as other rule sets go, I'm really happy that the platform has moved to get things licensed from Modiphius. So even if I don't play those like Vampire and Conan, I think Star Trek's coming up. There's some other really cool rule sets coming out.
Oh, I can't wait for Star Trek Adventures. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool to have that. There's actually I think there's a community mod for it now, but to have the official rule set will be awesome.
It will be. Well, what time we got? We got about 15 minutes. So anybody got questions for Rob or Robin or
yeah,
Lady
if you guys
Shell,
have questions,
myself,
put them in the chat. We'll answer them. You got five people here that know about Fantasy Grounds, so now's the time. Every Sunday's the time, really. But
while people are typing questions, if they're typing, I just want to tell Layroon and Lady Shell, thank you guys for everything that you do, because I think the Fantasy Grounds College is such a wealth of information and such a good resource for people to have in the community. There's nothing else like it, aside from the forums, but that's not the same. What you guys do is really awesome. And so I just wanted to commend you guys for that. It's really amazing.
She's right. And there's the website in the chat, everybody. If you haven't gone there, you should click on it now and bookmark it or whatever, so that you know. That's not the Discord server, that's their website, but you can get to the Discord server from their website.
So Lensman asked, what are we doing for the next event? So we don't really have any events planned. We usually just do once a year. Although I did say earlier that we're going to be a little bit more involved with indirectly behind the scenes in conventions. And we're also going to send DMs there or players if they're interested. The other thing is we will be doing more content, and that will be with Unity. So as soon as this weekend's over, and we're going to have a big faculty meeting, and once we get that straightened out, we're going to start putting our focus back into getting some newer content out. So that's what we have on our plate for the rest of the year.
I will say I would like to do another Spooktober, but not quite so close to um, Halloween itself, because last year it was really tough because we did it the same weekend as Halloween. If we do it the weekend before, maybe depending on how many conventions are running around that same time, I wouldn't mind planning one.
Ooh,
Um,
I am the queen of running horror one shots. So sign
sweet.
me up.
Perfect. Then you better sign up. Yeah.
So we'll think about that. Uh, Trodarn asked, how accessible is FGC for homebrew style content? So I have no problem with homebrew stuff as long as it's based on something that's already out there. If you're trying to build a complete rule set and you're expecting people to understand it, that's kind of tough. If you're just taking an existing rule set and putting your own flavor and reconstructing it, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, and if you're asking about classic instead of Fantasy Grounds College, you're going to have to go through the forums and ask for help to reprogram and to create your own extensions in your character sheets. So depending on what question you're asking, that's my answers for that. By the way, we might change to Fantasy Grounds University. I already have it. Already got
Yeah,
it
I
okayed.
remember when I said that I said like 2 years
Yeah.
ago to do that.
FGU, then it's
Yes.
Yeah,
FGU.
the
I like
only
that.
the only problem is Fantasy Grounds Classic, the initials are FGC, Fantasy Grounds College
Mhm.
FGC, Fantasy Grounds Unity FGU, Fantasy Grounds University FGU. You're going to just confuse the shit out of everybody, but
Right,
That was
because
the
sometimes
idea.
when people type FGC, I don't know if they're talking about classic or the college, and then I have to, like, think about the question they're
Well,
asking,
that's
and I'm
why I
like,
did it. You
"Wait."
see, you
yeah.
have to. It makes you think, and it doesn't, so you don't forget the
But
college or
you
the
should
But
pick
university.
something
Cheer
he's
bits.
he's a
totally
Cheer bits in the
masochist,
stream. Thanks
different.
for the
guys.
cheer
He's a
bits.
masochist.
Yeah.
There's no shaming here. He can be a masochist if he wants to. He's looking for trouble. So another question for Leroon, I guess, is oh, where'd it go now? Oh, with Icewind Dale on the horizon, how's the frozen world coming along? He's asking you specifically. Additionally, are there any
Oh,
features that you can that would be helpful for Unity, useful for Unity?
I'm not sure about being useful for Unity, but I can move my work over to Unity now that the the rule set is more developed and the platform. And with the Icewind Dale coming up, I was a little bit surprised that every time I come up with some sort of setting that I want to work on, and the next year that these knuckleheads come up with the same type of thing. When they did Salt Marsh, I was thinking about working on my aquatic adventure. And then when I was thinking about working on this ice thing, now they got this Icewind Dale thing coming up. So I don't know. I'm gonna work on it, pick on it, and right now I'm actually working on my birds and bees thing. But
You know what it is? You live
what's up?
in Seattle and Watsy is in Seattle. Somebody's got your house bugged.
Fantasy
Mhm.
Grounds
Right?
Community College, FGCC. I like it.
There you go. What
It
are
almost sounds
some
like a double meaning,
Yeah,
community college. I like it.
yeah.
upcoming classes for FGU, and where do you go to sign up? That's from Lensman.
So the platform is depending on the game master. So it's not like, okay, we're gonna do an FG Unity class. It's basically we're gonna teach Fantasy Grounds using Unity if that person has the license for it. And if you do learn on Unity, it's the same as Classic, but it's stable enough now where we can teach with it. The only thing I'm hesitant about is the map tools. That still needs a little bit more understanding and working, and that's more on our part. But other than that, there's no reason why you can't learn on either platform. So our schedule and our templates that we use for scheduling classes, we'll use those and we'll change between Classic or Unity. So in the description, when you sign up for an event, hopefully the instructor or whoever approved it realizes what platform it's being taught on. And we knew this was going to be a problem way before Unity was ever announced. We speculated that we'd have this issue where we have to come on to face this. So it'll be a challenge for us for the next couple years. how has Character Creation 101 changed with the implementation of the new character? It hasn't. We don't use the character wizard. I think it's a shortcut. It's great for when you want to run a one shot, or if you just don't want to spend 2 hours working on characters. I think it's great, but I haven't used it a whole lot. I still think it needs a little bit more work.
I
And I
prefer
really,
it's nice, like you said, for quick and easy, but I prefer the regular way.
so do I.
Yeah.
And the reason why is you won't understand if it's broken, and you basically you're shooting yourself in the foot in the long run as far as learning the platform. But if you're just there to play and you don't care, it's great. But
Plus,
if
everyone
you're
must be able to put in the Rob Tui coatings in their sheet. I mean, come on, you got to be able to put those in there. That was a little bit of a plug right there. I don't know if you guys heard that.
But the character wizard is a great idea. I'm glad they implemented it, but I myself will not teach with it unless the students in the class want it. And that would be the only way I would do it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we won't change in the future.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
I think
saying
the inventory is messed up, isn't it? Isn't it the inventory?
I'm not even sure
Well, and
what's
that it's
wrong
only
with
been
it, but
released. The thing we're talking about, you guys, the character creator, the character builder within 5e, that's only been released since Tuesday.
yep,
So when they updated to,
No.
yeah,
officially.
officially.
Oh,
three
I was
point
gonna
three
say it
point.
came out like
Yeah, but
a month ago.
it wasn't part of the rule set. It was an
Gotcha.
extension.
It was an extension.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Now it's part of the rule set, but it's still, you know.
Will Unity work with other rule sets like Call of Cthulhu? Eventually, if it doesn't now, it should soon.
Yeah, Unity is when we say Unity, it should work with everything that Fantasy Grounds does. Unity should do. It's the same. It's how do you explain that? It's the same program. It's just got extra features, basically. But every single thing that is in Fantasy Grounds now should work in Unity, because that's why it took 4 years to get it, is they wanted it all to work together. So I want to drag Rob Tui parcels and codes over. Yes, you do, Caesar.
Exactly.
You do.
So that's another thing about the wizard. It doesn't do everything. It just kind of covers the first 4 or 5 steps, and you still have to do all the customization.
Yeah.
So if you learn the long way to do it, you're going to get more out of the platform, and you're going to understand if things are broken. If you
Right.
use the CC 101 character creator, and I just show you how to use the wizard, it doesn't really teach you a whole lot. It just kind of shows you a quick way to do it.
Well, it's part of what you learn at Fantasy Grounds College in the CC 101 classes and other classes is best practices, proper way to build your character, proper way to notate your character on the actions tab, proper way to organize your actions tab, proper way to notate your abilities tab, and for example, putting after your ability score increase, putting level 4 I added 2 to my strength, or just notes like that, proper ways to do that. Fighting style defense or fighting style archery, just noting what you have on your character sheet, so DMs can take a quick look at your character sheet and find out if there's any anomalies, or when some number gets mistyped in and all of a sudden your AC is 97, you can go figure out what it really is. And just stuff like that, just best practices that have been developed on character creation over the last 4 years.
Yep. So there's a lot of tips that I'm going to start thinking about when we film our newer videos, and they're going to involve more connectivity and setup, because those are the things that most people struggle with. And one of them is that sometimes you have to do things in a certain order. Sometimes you do not want to use a certain type of platform to run Fantasy Grounds. Like, we were seeing people trying to run it on a notebook or a Chromebook or whatever, whatever it is. So there's some things out there that are not Unity related that are more or less on the community. So you come to a convention and you want to run a game, and half your players have tablets. Well, it's not going to work. It's not made for that, and that's some of the things that we want to clean up and make clear when we do our things. It's not so much tell people what to do, but tell them what not to do.
Yeah.
And one of them is don't use a tablet or a Chromebook to try to run Fantasy Grounds or
Yeah,
Unity or Classic. And these are the things that
I like to use
that are
this.
very
What I use.
cumbersome. So, question: when will
iPhone.
Rob 2E host a coding class for FGU?
Well, that's
Now
Never.
that's
we've already discussed that before.
yeah, that's been talked about maybe for about 3 years. My problem is of course time. I would like to do it. Who put me on the fucking spot? Who asked that question?
That is
Lensman.
Lensman.
That's Linsman. The thing is that there are YouTube videos already that cover it. So if you're looking for specifics, we also cover it on this show periodically. But I have been considering doing that, and I've always told Leroon it might be a possibility for me to jump in and start doing it. It's just that developing the curriculum and then having the time, having those hours to schedule out and do it for people that's just been my logistical problem that I haven't been able to work out in my head. But it is possible. If that is something that's going to happen, believe me, I'll let everybody know 18 different ways with every type of media I have possible at my fingertips. That's the question I have then for Leroon is, when you guys teach classes over there, are they all the same amount of time or are they all different amount of times?
It depends on the number of students and the instructor, but roughly they're about the same
And the
because of
roll
the content
set.
and the rule set too.
Usually all
And
about
what's
an
the
hour.
duration?
About 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, yep. Yeah.
Roughly.
So if one thing that'll help is if a bunch of people come into my Discord and say, I'd attend that class, then if I knew people were going to show up for it, I'd be more inclined to do it.
George is wondering why you do not use a Google Drive to sync or backup modules.
No, oh my God, that's a good. You want to answer that one?
He wants to know. Well, yeah, it screws it up. If it overwrites your XML database file, basically your history on your campaign will be broken. So that doesn't mean you can't take that data and put it on a Google Drive. What it means is do not sync that folder
right
with your Google program.
Yes, but you can back up, but do not sync it, because syncing it will just jack everything. And people have, oh man, I've seen some people
It
pretty.
messes with the history.
But it wasn't with a Google Drive. I did it with, we have a server in our basement and it has a file share on it. And for like a very long time, I had all of my Fantasy Grounds campaign folders and like all the data folders saved on that hard drive in our basement. And well, one day it all got out of sync and I lost so many campaigns, like lots of them.
And you
sad.
have a server in your basement because you're a secret part
Well,
of the government?
no, but now I use it just for backups
Yeah.
only. And because I do conversions, I store all my conversion backups there as well in case I ever need to do updates or whatever. But I will never do that again. It will never happen again. Keep your campaigns local.
Maybe we can do an all things Fantasy Grounds, or maybe a 3-hour show or something, and tape it. And then that way you're teaching the same class over and over and over instead of
we can
having to do that. That way, and then questions, we can set up a forum where people can ask questions on that video.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best way to do it. I don't know.
Then you could do it when you have the time.
Yeah, that's right. So you would be doing the video. You don't have to wait on nobody. You don't have to, worry about who's going to show up and who ain't. All you do is you just film the son of a bee, and then we'll edit it.
You can say bitch if you want.
Well, I'm trying to be PG-13, but
how dare you? You know what we should do, Leroon, is I'll get together with you and discuss how you build the curriculum or how you build the order of class, and then we'll figure out what it is for me, and then we'll just get it done.
Yeah, and then I can edit it. I know how to edit now, so I can go in and take out the uhs and the ahs, and I'll leave a few in. But
no, he makes you sound like you're talking like Speedy Gonzalez or something, because he takes out every little bit of
There's
space
no breath.
There's
just only words. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned not to do that, so I have a happy medium, so don't worry.
All right. Oh, here's another question from Linsman. Does FGU offer a way for new DMs to host games with an experienced FG user in the channel in case they get stuck or do not know how to use certain features? I'm thinking of trading wheels. The new DM is in control, but then someone in game who can offer assistance if and when they get stuck.
I think he means does the college facilitate that? But
What did I say?
well, no, you read it as it is. But I think what Lensman is asking
yeah.
is if the college facilitates
Yeah,
that.
that's what he meant.
Well, we do have people around. It's just, do you have someone manning that 24 hours a day? No. But we do have is an Ask the Experts area. And if you see, he's new, but in some in game who can offer assistance. Okay, so basically you would set up a game just like like a one shot, and you just request to have someone there, and that's the bottom line. Maybe even have that person play and kind of walk you through some of the things if you need to. That's what that would require. And so you'd have to get someone who's experienced. It doesn't have to be a Fantasy Grounds faculty member. It can be someone that's very experienced with the platform. So that's just a matter of getting the right people together at the right time. To have a walk-up counter where you can just do that on the whim would be difficult because there's no guarantee that someone's always going to be there.
Yeah,
As
we're
far
all
as
volunteers. It's really hard to find somebody that could be doing this all the time.
so, yes, it can be done, but the way you worded that sounds like we're just going to have a help desk and someone's going to be sitting there waiting like a gas attendant, waiting for somebody to pull up need gas.
Don't try
It's
to
not
pump
quite
your own
that.
gas in Oregon, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, they come running at
it's
you.
more like the timing and the fact that you have people there and some people aren't, and that consistency isn't there enough to say yes, we have that. But if you really need the help, we do have a lot of people there. We have a game master section. If you're afraid or you do need your training wheels, just schedule a class. And a lot of the people that are in our community have already taken classes, more than likely. So you're not going to have to reinvent the wheel. And you'll have to worry less about training them how to use Fantasy Grounds and more on running the game. So if you want to do it and you want to train it, then go ahead and sign up and we'll get you going. I'd love to see you run some games.
I have a question. So like the Founders Day, do you guys have any other sort of events like that throughout the year where you try to get the community together to run games all in the
Yep.
same time frame?
Yes. So Lady Shell mentioned Spooktober.
Right.
We did that, and what we found is around holidays is probably the worst time to run
Of
those.
course.
So it would have to be like maybe Yuletide or something, or I don't know, like some kind of thing that's after Black Friday, before Christmas, after Thanksgiving. It'd have to be like the sweet spot, and I don't know what that is.
Gotta be
Mhm.
October 3rd between 2 and 2:15 p.m. Pacific
Right.
time.
And not only that, but then we have an international community. So some people do not observe the same holidays. So like right
Mhm.
now there's people on vacation and it's like, well, why aren't the Europeans here? Well, they're all on vacation. Or
Right.
where's the Australians? So they're all inside and
They're
it's like
upside
it's
down.
just a
Yeah.
matter. Yeah, so it's just a
All the
matter of
Spanish people are asleep because they take naps, and yeah, there's a whole different
I
world
mean,
out there.
but like I understand what you're saying, but at some point, and this is just me, I have no experience doing this. Obviously, you have much more experience than I do, but I would just be like, well, this is the dates, and if you could make it, great. If you can't,
well, we
that
did that.
sucks.
But what happens
Yeah.
is you have to chase people down to run
Makes
the
sense. Yeah.
event.
Okay.
And that's the problem is chasing everyone down because that's what we've done for the last 3 weeks
Okay.
with the Founders Day event is it's not so much the event itself, it's the logistics and chasing people down to get them to sign up and get it to be formatted correctly and make sure that people are connecting. And that's the
Yeah.
hard part of it.
I
It isn't
gotcha.
even so much the date. It's more to do with the logistics of it. And that's why we only do one a year. It's very hard to coordinate all that stuff together. I mean, Shell basically did that full time.
Yeah.
And if
Because she's
you are
amazing.
working, yeah, that she did most of the work. But if it was just me doing it, I probably wouldn't have had it done. It just wouldn't happen.
I agree.
So
You agree.
I concur. She's like,
We lost Fury because she's underwater. She's in the middle of a hurricane. She probably got
okay,
dropped off.
no problem. He
But
said, yeah, I got up 6 a.m. here in Australia to play Zane's Traveler game for Founders Day weekend. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, we got to build up Oceania for sure. Oceania needs to be built.
yeah, conventions are a lot of work. That's not false.
Mhm.
I would love to have more events like quarterly or something like that. I talked to who was that? Damned and them about taking over FGCon.
Oh,
We're
really?
already,
What?
they were kind of on the fence about it. Like they said, it sounds great, and then we never really talked about it. So I got to revisit
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So I want to make sure
Aw.
that they're ready for that. And well, I told them we'll gladly take it over, and because we're already doing it, we're pretty much doing it every day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fantasy Grounds College could technically be a convention every day if people were consistent. We
Right.
could have a convention and games and stuff going every day, but it's just not a reality.
Yeah, you'd have to have the logistics though. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's be a nightmare to see. Our calendar can handle it, but see, a lot of people don't know how to use the calendar, or they
Yeah.
don't want to use the calendar, or they want to use it. They want to use what do you call it? TeamSpeak instead of Discord. You
Yeah,
know, and it
what's up
gets to be a point.
2013?
Well,
Right?
it's annoying. It's really hard to. It's really hard to wrestle all those folks up. They all have their preferences, and it's tough.
By the way, Journeyman, I did see you post that in there before and I completely ignored it. But since you posted it again, he's putting Pug is my oft hated acronym for pickup games. I don't like the PUG. I don't like that, but that's what everyone calls it but me. But he's saying do a Fantasy Grounds pickup games convention. But we have that for those of you that don't know, every Tuesday on my channel we play pickup games where you can literally just come by, play 2 hours of combat and be done with it. You don't no commitment, don't have to come back again. You can just show up or not. And right now McClancy is DMing that, and he's going to do that through August. But it is a rough go. It is either what'll happen is we'll have the game and 2 people will show up, which isn't enough, or 8 people will show up and we got to kick 2 people out because 6 the max. So I tried to do that at one point in 2017. I think I was doing it 3 days a week, and it just wasn't really working right. So then we sent it away. We brought it back. It worked for a few months. So that's usually what happens is we end up running it for 2-3 months and then it goes away because it's either not popular. And then what happens is people just don't show up, and then I'll stop it, and then 2 months goes by and everybody's like, hey, when's pickup games? Bring that back. And then people show up for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's just a nightmare. But we
It
are
does
doing
the
it.
same
Feast
for
or
us.
famine.
Yeah, we
Yep,
are feast or famine. Exactly. We are doing it through August though. So if you guys are interested in that, you can, I'll put a thing in the chat that'll teach you how to look at it. But
Diablo Bob says we should run everything out of ICQ. I was thinking
oh
WhatsApp,
my God,
but
yeah.
ICQ.
ICQ.
Oh my gosh,
holy
I remember
God.
that.
Or the AOL Instant Manager or
Yeah.
Instant Messenger.
We might as well just get a can and a string, and I'll mail
That's
you.
my old internet.
Yeah,
I'll mail you the can. Yeah, you just mail the can to the other person, and make sure you got enough string that it goes to the post office and it goes everywhere, and then you have it like that.
I'm gonna play by post.
Play by
Fantasy
post.
Grounds, play by post.
All right. Well, we did how long? We did an hour and 15.
We're good.
That's pretty good. I'm glad you guys came on, and I'm glad Fantasy Grounds College is even a thing that you guys have available for
Me
people.
too.
Well, it would not be available hadn't you guys been a part of it, even though you may or may not be participating now or as active. We appreciate everybody that's contributed or is still contributing or that will. This is no longer.
I go
Go
once
ahead.
a week to general chat without fail, and I
Mhm.
post the Fantasy Grounds Friday tip in there early for FGC only.
Yep.
And then I lurk about, and when I see my name in there, I talk to people.
Right. If someone pings you or something.
Yeah. Or if I see people talking about me, and I'm like, what's
Coding
this?
package.
Coding package. So, well, good.
By the way,
yeah,
if you haven't already bought the Rob 2E coating package, it is available on the DMs Guild. So if you don't know what that is, please ask, especially if you play with the 5E rule set.
yes, it's only
There,
for
how's that?
5e. It's only for 5e, but and there's a link to it. You can look at it on the DM skills, and it's basically automation, and not just automation, but count ticker counts, titles. It's a complete what's the word for that? It's a complete experience for using all the spells, all the feats, all the class features, and all the race traits, and all the items, all the weapons and armor and wondrous items and all that shit. So just check it out.
And I want to answer a couple questions before they're asked about that.
Yes.
One is, does Rob update them, and do I have to pay for them? The answer is, once you buy the package, you should, or you can, rely on Rob to update them sooner or later. So normally within a week, he updates all of those when a new product comes out. The other thing is, does the packages work the right way? And yes, they do. If you buy one piece of his bundle package and then you decide 3 weeks later you want the rest of them, you will get the discount. So that
Correct.
is something that gets commonly asked in the college. We do answer those questions occasionally, but Rob and I and other people aren't always there to address that. So if you're watching this video down the stream, down the ways, or months from now, those should still be true.
Yes, and as far as when I update something, like for example, I have a calculation that I do. Like you'll go and you'll be like, oh, the spells are more than the feats, and how are these differently priced? And it's all based on my workload. So basically, when a new source comes out, WotC puts out, say, a splat book with monsters or spells or whatever the hell they put out. Anything that's appropriate, I will go into the coding packages and update it, and then I'll raise the price. So if you already have it, you'll get the updates for free. If you're a new person buying it the day after I update it, you're going to pay the full whatever the new price is. So that's kind of how I do it. So your customers who've been around will be loyally rewarded for. I mean, I think the package, I think the spell package or the coding package, the 4 basic thing, I think it's around $90. It when it first came out, that was more like 40. So it's gone way up. And the people that bought it 3 years ago never paid an extra dime for all that stuff. So that's how that works.
So John, I love your idea, but it cannot be done. The reason why is because there's so many situations and cases and combinations. It's almost like, can you teach me how to DM? No, we can teach you how to use the platform, but all that stuff comes with time and it's very situational. So
Well,
if
there goes my idea for doing a how to DM video.
well, you can show them how to use Fantasy Grounds, but you can't go through every little single thing that's going to come up.
It's like if
There's
somebody
no
asked
way.
me, can you teach me how to be a comedian? I can teach you how to write a joke. I can teach you joke structure, audience structure, setup, punchline, interaction, but I can't teach you to be funny. And so
yeah, but I mean, even that stuff is still useful, though.
yeah, and you could totally do a how to DM, but you're really going to be giving people the basics and then some of your interpretations of ideas on how to handle stuff. But it's like if you said, "Tell me how to DM," that's if I said to you, "Explain God." So like, I'm out.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, or it's even like if you look at potatoes, right? You say, I want to learn how to cook a potato. But then you got them mashed, you got them scalloped, you got them raw, you got them French fries. I mean, there's so many different aspects of it that I'd have to spend the rest of my life teaching you just to use those. And
True.
that's just too long. It's
Just
too
say,
much.
Robin, your idea is stupid.
No, it's not. It's not at all. But it'd be hard. It'd be hard to do as all as like one thing.
Mhm.
Like, what, I'm going to teach you how to
Robin.
DM in 10 minutes.
Your idea is stupid.
No,
Got
no,
it.
it's not. It's not.
No, it's not. We've been asked before, and this is the answer: is that you have to just put your time in to understand all those little ins and buts.
It's true. It's true.
And you have to learn how
I agree.
the rule set interfaces with Fantasy Grounds. You have to know how to handle a situation manually. Sometimes there isn't always an answer.
Yeah.
And it's just way too much data for a 1 or 2 hour class. There's no way to do it.
Fair enough, and I agree.
But a series of videos would definitely be. But that's kind of what Fantasy Grounds College is. They teach you combat, they teach you character building, they teach you mapping, they teach you everything. Anything you need.
Yeah.
Role playing,
Which is really awesome.
I heard there's going to be a coding class. I don't know if you guys heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happening.
And we already are teaching like tertiary things like role playing and module building, and
Map building.
We plagiarize all Rob's work. We regurgitate it. We reword it. We call it our own, and then we say, "See, we know everything."
See?
And Rob's like, "I put that video out 3 years ago."
Yeah, that's right. Nobody. It's funny. I get that question all the time. Hey, Rob, when are you gonna do some videos? And I'll send a link. You mean this playlist with 17 videos I already did? Oh, I didn't know about that. And by the way, guys, if you want to know stuff about codes specifically from the author, you can come to my Discord, which I'll put the link in here too. That's it right there. All right. Well, so before we end the show, do you guys, Lady Shell and Leroon, have any more things to say that we forgot to say?
I don't think so.
Not on my end.
No, I think we're covered.
Yes. Well, will you guys tell everybody watching now and watching later on YouTube how they can find the college, how they can join the Discord? Do you guys have social media, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. The best way to get a hold of us is to go to our Discord first. Or if you end up on our website, there is a join code for our Discord. And then if you're interested in our community, you sign up on our website, which is fantasygroundscollege.net. And then from there, you can schedule or book or request classes, depending on what your angle is. And then as far as Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Reddit and Imager, we are present there.
Why did a moderator delete my message?
I did it on accident. I'm so sorry.
It's because you can't
This
post
is why I shouldn't be allowed to be moderator. It was an accident. I am so sorry. No, it was me. I clicked it. It was an accident. I didn't mean to do it.
Lady, just calm down, Robin. Lady
I'm so sorry.
Lady Shell should be a moderator. She should have been able to post the link, but let me just check that.
She did, but I accidentally clicked the little delete this message button because it's like right next. Look, I'm blind as a bat, okay, and it was totally an accident.
No,
it won't let me put it again because it says you already put that once.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And you are a moderator, lady. I don't know why it didn't let you put the link.
I don't know.
It's my fault.
All right, let's just everybody relax.
I'm sorry.
All right. So, but he explained it. And by the way, everybody, don't leave because it is going to be the end of the show. But after the show's over, we'll stop the stream and we'll come back in like 5 minutes and we'll play Jackbox Party Pack games. And all of you are invited to play because we can have up to 10,000 players. And that's not a joke. We can. So don't leave.
I got something funny. Lady Shell just reminded me.
Okay.
This is one thing we forgot.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
She goes, yeah, so Leroon taught me everything I know, and I still don't know a fucking thing. That's what she said.
That's his joke, by the way. I'll have to make that up.
I like it.
Yeah.
So Robin is spamming the channel.
I feel so bad.
She's a moderator.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, take away my moderator status. I don't deserve it. I'm so bad at it.
I'm going to up it to some secret level that it doesn't even exist. I'm going to put you in there.
So, John, that's your answer. Sorry. If I teach you everything I know, you're still not going to know everything.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Sorry we lost Fury. Maybe she'll be back for games, but she might. I'm assuming since she got disconnected, she's not coming back. But we will hopefully have Lady Shell and or Leyrun back on the show again soon, perhaps in a perhaps Lady Shell in a permanent capacity when she gets squared away. But we were glad you guys were here today. And hang on, everybody in the chat, and we'll be back in, say, 5 minutes for gaming. And until that time, good gaming, everyone.